Welcome to Feature Friday, where we explore the cool functions of our Roof Wizard software. Today I'd like to explore the situation, especially if you're in the re-roof market, where you send one of the lads out to check measure a roof and there's no other information except for this work of art, and you want to create a detailed takeoff of this job as accurately as you can. So we have to assume that the measurements are precise, well, plus or minus an inch, I guess, and we will use these measurements to create a quotation. We can't really create a 3D model from it. We don't know the slope, and there's not enough information from which to try and figure the slope out. So we have a function here that you might not have known about under the Smart Lines function, and it's called 2D track lines. And this function allows you to create this roof geometry basically one line at a time, as if it was a 2D drawing. So what we can do here, let's do this part of the roof first, and we'll start somewhere out here just to get it out of the way, and we're going to go up 16 foot 6, and then we're going to go right 61 foot 6, and then down 16 foot 8, then left 22, then up 4 foot 7, and then left 28. And now we're really not quite sure what's going on here. So we can use a function called the V function, where it wants to know the length of the first and second line. So the second last line is 5 foot 10, and the last line is 11 foot 6, and we hit OK, and you'll see that the software then said, well, there's actually two solutions to that. It can be out here or it can be up here. So we'll select close to the point we want that one, and it figures it out. And then F for finish, and the slope will be 0. We're working with a flat, essentially flat planes, which are representative of our roof, so that when you stand it up to whatever the slope is, that will be the correct length. So slope is 0, hit OK, and it builds our roof. So now we want to get into the rest of it. We might come start another roof here and come down 14 foot 2, and then left 8 foot 8, and then up 6, and X to close, and it figures out that number. Finish, and same deal, 0 slope. Okay, so now we're going to do the other part of the roof. We'll start from here. So yeah, we're going to come down the same ridge length, and then right 8 foot 8, and then we don't quite know what's going on there. So what we're going to do, we'll use the V function again, and it will want to know the length of the second line. That's 11 foot 3, and the last line will be 5 foot 10, and these are straight from the measurements provided by the guys who are actually on the job. Hit OK, and again, two potential solutions. It's not likely to be there, it's most likely there, and bam, it goes in. Finish, and 0 slope. OK, so you can see how we're producing what resembles the roof, but one roof plane at a time. So the next one will be, if we start there, we're going to go right 28, and then down 10 foot 4, and then left 24, and then just X to close. Beautiful, and finish, and 0 slope, and OK. That's that part of the roof done. Now we move up to the top half, or we might go from somewhere up about here. We might come down 16, and then right the ridge length 61 foot 2, 61 foot 6, and then up 8 foot 6, and then left 53. Just a little tip, 6 inches is half a foot, so you could actually go 0.5 if you wanted to, and it does the same thing. And then extra close there, and finish. You can see we get a head of steam up, and it takes no time at all to actually recreate this roof. And 9.5, right, 8'9", and then down the ridge length 17'3", and then extra close after finish. And there's another part of the roof out here. So we'll start about there. We'll go up 17'3", and then right 8'9", and then extra close and finish. And okay. And the last part of the roof is this fella here. So we'll start about there. We'll go right 45'3", and then down 17'3", and then left 53'6". So provided the guys have measured it right, and then extra close, F to finish, and 0 pitch. There's our roof. And as I said, provided they've measured it right, that represents the roof perfectly. The next thing I need to do is to then change all the line types to whatever they need to be. So for example, that line there needs to be a ridge. Don't select both lines or you'll double up. So we'll select this line as a ridge. Oops, get the ridge, that's it. Another ridge, we need another bit of ridge there, and another bit of ridge there, and ridges. Now, actually that's not going to be a ridge, that's going to be a transition. So we'll call, what have we got, a pitch break, I think is what some people refer to it as. That will be a pitch break, and that will be a pitch break. And we want valleys, so we select one line to be a valley, that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. They'll all be valleys. And we want fascia and gutter, so that is fascia and gutter, that is fascia and gutter, that one, and that one, fascia and gutter. And we want some gable ends, so we have a gable end there. In this case, it's definitely, all of those will be gables. And that one, and yep, and that one, and that one. Did I get those two? We'll check them in a minute. Missed a couple. Gable, that one, and that one will be gables. Okay, so that's pretty much done. Don't forget, when you do your checks, it'll show you what they all are. So we've got a pitch break and valleys, that's all good. We've only got one of each there, one ridge, that's good. And now we can go to select our cover material, and let's put a 16-inch standing seam on it and hit OK. Color don't know yet, and hit OK and OK. And this is where the magic happens, Gen Panels. It generates the entire thing as if I'd modeled it in 3D, and I've got a detailed breakdown of all the materials with a waste factor and the total length of coil required to finish the job. So we haven't had to model in 3D, but we've still got a very precise cutting list, which allows us to then go on and create a cutting list for fascia and gutter and trims and all the accessory items that go along with it, our clips and screws and yada yada. So practice with that. The function is Smart Lines 2D Roof. Any questions, send us an email, and we look forward to hearing from you again on Feature Fridays. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.